All right, welcome everybody. Got a first Photoshop video. So as usual, pause as much as you need to, replay parts. But today I'll be showing you how to create a hamburger using Photoshop. And I'd like you guys to open up the app and follow along. Okay, so first step is we're gonna go search for it. So mine, I'll search from the start button. On your computers, you'll see magnifying glass to search. And we're just going to say Photoshop. Great. Okay, so from there, we're going to go File, New. Here we can use the default Photoshop size. Right, it doesn't really matter right now what the dimensions are, but you can use these default parts. Okay, press OK. Let's name this hamburger. Done. Okay, so I'll teach you guys some other shortcuts later on, but a few things you can do. If you want to zoom in, you can hit Control plus. I'll zoom in, zoom out. Okay. The main purpose of today, though, is to create layers. So if you think about it, just like when we were using Canva and we would drop other pictures onto a template or a background, those in effect were layers. And with Photoshop, we have the same idea. So to create our layers, we're going to go to the right-hand side here, bottom right corner. See if I can zoom in. No, it doesn't look like I can zoom in on this one. Okay, so bottom right corner, this one here, click, and a new layer will pop up. Okay, we can rename it. So rename it bottom bun. Okay, and like I said, at any point you need to pause and replay it parts. No worries. If you have any questions in class, I can help you as well. All right, so with this bottom bun, we're going to want to then create a paintbrush or use the paintbrush. So you can hit shortcut B, or this is how the paintbrush looks on the left-hand side here. All right. So yeah, make sure we have that layer selected. Okay. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to increase the size of this brush. So we just have to click it once and we're going to get a bottom bun. Okay, so you can either increase the size like this and drag that up. You can see it getting bigger, or if you look at your keyboard, you have a square brackets. So you want square brackets. We call it a closing square bracket, but it's the square bracket that opens to the left, right? And if you click that, that's much faster. Okay, so we have that a lot bigger. And if we look at the brush style, so we'll select that as well. We want to make sure we have the one where the hardness is 100%, right? None of these softer ones, 100% hardness. Okay, so the next thing, we'll go down to the left side here, bottom left, double click on the first white square, and this is where we're going to select our colors. All right, so let's look for a brown shade. Your colors don't have to be exact to mine. Click on that. Perfect. All right, and then now we click and we have our bottom button. Okay, so that's first layer, bottom bun. Next layer, so we'll click down here again. And let's name this. Double click on that. Let's name this Patty. And for this one, so we want a darker brown. This is for the actual meat. Okay, about that. And we want to make our brush smaller. So this one, you can either adjust the size here and decrease it, or we can use, or you can use the closing square bracket and make that smaller. Okay, so I'm going to make it about this size. Right click, and there we have our meat. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, so we're going to create some grill marks. So I'm going to once again decrease the size of the brush. This time making it very small, and let's change the tone to almost black. Okay, and then now we can just put some grill lines across the meat. Great. Okay, so that's the meat patty. Next layer, let's put some lettuce on this. Lettuce. Okay, name is lettuce. For lettuce, we want some green. Let's check out our green colors. Yeah, that's good enough. So for the lettuce, this is what you can do. Let's go back to the brush, select lettuce, make that a bit smaller. Here you can trace, I'm just going to draw a very rough shape of a lettuce. All right, so we have that shape of the lettuce. And then if we go to our fill tool, see if I can find it, or bucket tool, there it is. Okay, some of these too, you'll notice you might have to right click and select. So the paint bucket tool. And now we can just click once, we get this, click twice, and it fills out the whole lettuce. If you want to, you can add some more lettuce details. You don't have to. So maybe just some lines. This part, pretty, oh, she made it. Let's go for 100% hardness. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah. For that part, don't worry about this because of our bucket fill. Okay. Next, so this is where we can start playing around with the order. For me, I'm going to put a layer of tomato. Once again, if this is going too fast, feel free to pause and replay. So tomato, we want some red. Maybe you can even check. Oh, no, not those. There you go. That's decent. Tomato. So tomato is going to be another brush. You can click shortcut B for brush. Select our tomato layer and make this bigger. Tomato. So, yep. So we got a slice of tomato there. And depending on the detail you want to go with this, try and add some tomato designs. Actually, got a better idea. Well, let's put something in like that. Very rough tomato right now. Okay, there's our tomato. Let's put on some mustard. So name the layer mustard. Now we need yellow. Make that, there Very mustard looking color. Okay. You'll notice sometimes after you've selected the colors that your brush isn't working. Make sure you're selected to the layer. Okay, so we got some mustard on it. Mustard. Let's do some ketchup. Ketchup. Let's get another red. Very good. Ketchup. Actually, do a little darker shade of red. Okay, so ketchup, mustard. And then the last bit is we're going to want to put a top bun on this. Okay, so let's try this. No. Okay, let's do this instead. Okay, brush, make it bigger. And I'm not going to put this one directly over. Oh, wrong color. Oh, here's another thing you can do. So if we want the exact same color brown from the bottom bun, click on this color parts. And you'll see this eyedropper. Click on the color you want, and that selects the same exact color. Okay, so then we'll click, and we have a top bun. Okay, so I left a little bit of lettuce hanging out. And if you want, you can put some sesame seeds on it. Some random seeds. Great. Okay, so just a few other notes on layers. So you can hide layers. So if you notice, I'm hiding the lettuce when I click on the eye, hide the bottom bun, hide the top bun. Great. You can also change the order. So say for whatever reason, I just move the bottom or the top bun. Rename that. So you could also click that and drag it to the bottom. Right, say I wanted this patty to go to the top here. Now the patty's on top. So this is, yeah, these layers give us a lot of freedom within this design. All right, so we have this. Okay, a few things. If you were just to do file save as, this would save as a PSD, which is a Photoshop file. If you hit export, yeah, let's do exports. No, let's do save as still. So if you did save as, and you didn't want a Photoshop file, right? Say for the final submission, we said we wanted a JPEG or a PNG. So you'll just click on format, and you can select JPEG. Good, hamburger.jpg. I'll put it in my pictures. Save, and you can pick how what the resolution is if you want high quality, medium, low. Let's just put this to medium right now. And there it is. Downside to sending it in as a JPEG is then we're not able to see the different layers. Okay, but it is a file that you can then put through a background remover, upload to Canva. That part's totally available. Whereas this Photoshop file cannot be uploaded to Canva or used by Canva. All right, so we reached the end of the video. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, and we'll go through the next Photoshop activity from there. All right, take care, guys.